Welcome to your ultimate guide to press-on nails. I'm gonna give you a complete rundown of how to apply press-ons without making a mess with the glue, how to make them last as long as you can, how to remove them, and just a bunch of other little tips and tricks from me, Katie, professional nail tech and the creator of these. Okay, step one, before applying anything and getting too excited, I know, it's exciting. You wanna get your station and your kit ready. So let's go over everything that's in your nail kit and why you need each of these things. So first up, we have the glue for adhesion, obviously, to stick the nails on. And keep in mind, this glue will always be on top and separated from all of the other supplies in your kit because we don't want the glue, once we open it, to leak all over the rest of our supplies and ruin them. So keep that in mind when you're done with your kit and ready to repack it for future use back in the box. Keep that top tray just to keep the glue separated. Next, we have the wood stick, and this is a good tool for 1, pushing the cuticles back, 2, using to wipe excess glue off around the edges, and 3, to help lever the press-ons off when you are ready to remove them. So I know you might want to throw this away because you're like, why do I have this stick here? But I promise you, don't throw it away, it will come in handy. And of course we have the nail file, which is what we're gonna use to shape the nails, size them, so they're perfect for us, and also we're gonna use it to actually prep the nails before we put the actual nail tips on. And of course we have the nails themselves, obviously. There's 30 nails included in this specific kit because everyone has different size fingers and nails, so I wanted just to make sure that as many sizes as possible were included. And fun fact, when I was doing my hand-painted press-ons back in 2020, I actually included 22 nails per kit because that's all my little fingers could muster with the hand painting. So I'm genuinely so excited about being able to have 30 nails in these kits. And something I also really like about this kit is not only does it come with the glue to apply the nails with, but I also made sure to add a little bit more of a temporary application option. So this kit also comes with double-sided sticky tabs. So it's basically like double-sided sticky tape, but really strong and for your nails. They're really great for a more temporary, like 1 to 2 or 3 days wear without the permanence of the glue. So listen, if you just want easy removal, you want no messy application, or if you just like to change your nails really often, then these sticky tabs are definitely for you. And finally, your kit also comes with a little alcohol wipe, and this is very important for our prep work and to really seal in the deal for long-lasting adhesion of your nails. Now, let's officially move on to prep work and application. The first thing you have to do with this is size your nails and lay them out so they are ready for you. A couple tips with this is you want to make sure that the nails at least fit your nail beds from sidewall to sidewall. If you notice that the tip is flattening a lot and you have to put a lot of pressure when you're trying to size it and it feels really tight, that means it's too small and you need to size up. Each nail tip also comes with a number underneath it to help know what exact numbers your fingers are as well. And another fun fact, full of them today, a lot of the times when it comes to nail sizes, your pointer finger and your ring finger will most likely be the same size. So use that to guide you a little bit. If you have a choice between a nail that's too small or too big, always pick the bigger nail and file the sidewalls down to fit you perfectly, because if you choose the smaller one, it will most likely be too tight on your fingers, and that tightness just causes more tension between the nail and the nail tip, so it'll end up pulling away constantly from your nails and most likely pop off way sooner than if you had sized up. So for longer lasting nails, always size up and shape to perfection. Once you have all of your nails, all 10 nails picked, then you move on to prep your actual natural nails. So make sure you have nothing on your nails and that your nails are cut down to be short. I know, so sad, but let me tell you why. The longer your nail is, the less likely your glue will be able to fully cover every little part of the nail, leaving more opportunity for the nail underneath to either lift or curl away from the nail tip. And listen, okay, hear me out. It's not the end of the world if you don't do this step, but I personally think that you will have a longer wear press-on manicure if you cut them nice and short for the glue to fully cover. Now the next thing you could do is take your wood stick and use that to push back your cuticles just a little bit. But if the stick is not your jam for this, then feel free, you can use the nail file to push the cuticles back, or even use your own nails to push them back. You just want to do this just to get any excess skin out of the way of your nail tip. And now let's take our nail file and just lightly and gently buff all of the surface shine out of your nail. And the reason why we do this is because you want to think of the press-on almost like, and the glue like Velcro. So Velcro needs a little bit of grit to grab onto in order to stay connected. So if it was really smooth, the Velcro wouldn't stick. So getting rid of the smooth surface a little bit on the nail and adding a little bit of texture is what we need for the glue to grab on nicely. And by the way, this is the same step that we do for gel manicures as well. And with this, again, we're not going crazy. We're not digging into the nail. We're not using a lot of pressure. We're using just feather touch. And hey, listen, again, it's not the end of the world if you don't do this. This is just an added step to help the nails be a little bit more prepped and grab onto that press-on even more. But again, it's up to you if you want to do this or not. It's your press-on life. It's your press-on world. You do whatever you want. So now that we have a nice textured nail plate, we're gonna take our alcohol wipe and thoroughly wipe away all of the dust and any excess oils left behind on the nail. This creates a nice clean surface for the nail to apply nicely. And if you're reapplying your nails and don't have another alcohol wipe on you, you can always use nail polish remover, acetone, your own rubbing alcohol at home. Surely you'll have one of those things in your cabinets at home, so when you need to reapply or you want to reuse these, you can just grab a little cotton round and you'll be good to go. All right, so now that we have our nails perfectly prepped, we did it. We're gonna go prep for the glue application first. So when we're applying these nails, we will be using a 45-degree angle, starting from the cuticle, then pressing all the way down on the tip of the nail. So pay attention also to how high up you start at the cuticle, because just what I've personally done in the past, I've done this plenty of times, where I try to push the tip as far up on the cuticle as I can go, and what ends up happening is, of course, they're glued down and permanently pushing my cuticles back. So the next couple days, that area, that cuticle area on my fingers are tender for obvious reasons. So keep that in mind as you place your nail. Give yourself just a little breathing room, just from personal experience. Okay, so the key to applying glue and not having a mess afterwards is to not cover the whole entire nail in glue. We're gonna let the glue work for us here, okay? It's very liquidy, which will benefit us in this specific technique. So first, we're gonna apply a glob of glue in the middle of our nail. Then a second glob of glue in the middle of the nail tip. So the middle blob technique is great because once we use our 45-degree angle application, the glues will combine and fill in all the edges and cuticle area for us without flooding. And when you apply your one hand at a time, make sure you keep your hand that is getting the nails glued onto them anchored on the table. This is the best tip. If you try to apply these with two floating hands, you will risk moving the wrong way ever so slightly and accidentally gluing them crooked. So anchored hands keeps you the most steady and controlled and keeps your nails nice and straight. So once you have it placed on your nail, press and hold for around 20 to 30 seconds to wait for the glue to fully dry. And of course, if you do see a little spot of glue coming out from the side or the cuticle, take your wooden stick and the little alcohol wipe that we used and just swipe it away before it dries. And since we're here, let me show you how to apply the sticky tapes. So good news is it's all the same exact prep work for the sticky tapes as well. So if you were to apply these, just repeat the same prepping steps the exact same way and take the little adhesive, just kind of size it based on the nail tip size and place it on the back of each nail and make sure that the little plastic tabs, they're like little handles, are above the cuticle for easy peeling. Then the easiest step is to just peel and stick. Again, these are great for 1 to 2 day, whatever, however long. But I'm gonna be honest with you, I've kept these sticky guys on for longer. The length of wear on your press-ons will always depend on your application, your prep work, your nail sizing, etc. So as with anything, the more you practice, the better you get. Let's get to the removal, okay? This is like the hardest part when it comes to press-ons. So I just wanted to show you, here I am like 3 weeks after I applied. I don't really remember, but when you've worn these for a week or two and they're grown out, or when you start noticing that some are starting to lift, that's when you want to start taking them off, okay? If you notice a pretty lifted nail, you do want to make sure and get that off as soon as you can, because if you keep a lifted nail on for too long, moisture can get trapped underneath in that tight space, and if you leave it for days, you don't want to risk moisture and bacteria building under there. So the sticky tapes are pretty self-explanatory for removal, but I want to go over your options for removing the glued on nails. So here I am with maybe like 3 weeks of these nails that I glued on, okay? So you have a couple options with removal. First one is only for the nails that are super lifted and ready to come off. So for those specific nails, water exposure could be beneficial for gently prying them off. So water exposure always softens and slightly expands your nails, because the nails, think of them a little bit like sponges. They absorb water. So when you have a slightly expanded and water-soaked nail like I do here, because I just got out of the shower, a really lifted nail tip will be easier to separate from the nail. So gently take your wooden stick and move it around the lifted nail edges to get in between the nail and the tip to loosen the rest of the glue bond. The goal here is to separate the two, not to pry the tip off, okay? This is why it's nice to have this slightly thin and sharp wood stick for gentle separation. And now for the ones that are still glued onto your nails pretty well, water just won't be beneficial for them because there's no lifting that gives you any leverage. And again, remember, water does not disintegrate the glue, it just softens the nail. So again, if they're not lifted, if there's no lifted area for the water to soften parts of the nail and for you to get leverage, don't waste your time doing a water nail sew. You'll end up sitting there for an hour and likely ruining your nails trying to force a lift. So you have a couple options here. You either just stay patient and wait for them to lift and pop off, or you can, I recommend, if you're just, impatient, I recommend giving them a cut, a file, and a soaking them off like a regular gel manicure. So the thing that dissolves the plastic and glue efficiently is acetone. So go ahead, get a cotton ball, some foil, or the gel removal clips, and soak them for about 10 minutes, and use your wood stick to gently scrape off the disintegrated tip, and use your file to buff any excess off, and you're done. And then of course, I personally like to add some nice nail oil on my nails after that, just for added luxury, and that's that. And these specific nails in this specific kit is linked below, and that's it. I hope you learned a ton from this press-on little masterclass. If it did help you, can you give this video a like? And also, if you have any more questions or like I missed something, definitely comment down below and I will try to get back to you, because I might have missed something, but just in case, just let me know, and thanks for watching.